Hi, and welcome to Write 095 Developmental Writing. As we get going in these first couple days, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the course. And please, after you watch this video, click around, explore the course, become familiar. One of the keys to being successful in an online course is feeling comfortable with the environment and with the interface of the course itself, which is basically being able to navigate through the different options you have over here and through the options you have across the top bar. As a student, that will look very similar for you. It will look the same. You will just have slightly fewer options across here, and you'll not have an author tab. But otherwise, as we work through this tour, it will look very similar to you. So first of all, I'm very excited to get going with this course. And please do read through things. Please communicate with me as your instructor if you have questions about anything as we're working along in the course. There are a variety of ways that you can get in contact with me, and we will look through them as we work through this overview. So as you can see here on this introductory page, you want to spend about 2 to 3 hours every day working on the course. An online course has advantages in that you can work on it as it fits your schedule. One of the disadvantages is that it can be easy to put it off and procrastinate because there's not a set time that you have to work on it. There are deadlines, and what I would recommend, what was successful for me when I was a student in online classes, is making an assigned time for myself. So looking at my work schedule, looking at my life schedule, and saying, okay, this 2-hour block of time is when I'm going to set aside to work on my online class, and then trying to stick to that as best I could, allowing for changes happening with work or life or anything. So as we get going here, this first course home, under here, these are a variety of tools and instructions for you to use generally for the course. So I click over here to the syllabus. The syllabus is an agreement between the instructor and the student. It tells you what you can expect to get out of the course, what you can expect to learn, what you can expect me to help you achieve. Right? So these course objectives, these are the goals for the course. The textbook, the course assessment, how the grade will be broken down, and then a description under here of each of those components of the grade. Some best practices for an online class. Like I said, not procrastinating, setting aside a regular time. Class policies, these are things that you want to, expectations that I have of you for the class. College policies, these are expectations of the college, and not going to talk through all of these right now, but do expect that you will have read through the syllabus, right? Because remember, it is an agreement between the student and the instructor, and so you need to have read that document. The course schedule, this is one of your main keys to success in an online class, is the course schedule, knowing what is happening and when it is happening. This is a good document to print off. So you can have a copy, and you can actually check off things as you do them. You can refer to it, you can add it to your other calendar, whether that's a digital calendar or a notebook that you write things in, but keep track of this course schedule. There will also be an individual unit schedule under each unit, but here is the list of the full 8 weeks. So as we scroll through it, it looks like a lot, but you'll notice, it's broken down day by day, week by week, so it's not too much for you to handle. Here in the virtual office, like I said, I am here to help you work through this course. So, please come into the virtual office when you have questions about the course. If you have, remember though, anything you post here is public. Anyone else in the course can see it. So if you have a private question, use the class email tool. Under instructor, some information about me. When my virtual office hours are, I will always be logged into the class during that hour, and I will also be logging into the class nearly every day, excluding weekends. And so when I'm logged into the class, you can also use the live chat features if you want to talk to me in real time with some questions. Over here, there are a series of instructions about how to access the chat room, how to use the Dropbox for assignments. Once you read through all of these things, then you want to work through the student tutorial quiz and the Yes, I Read It syllabus quiz. Let's move down here and do a short preview of the rest of the class then. So here you have a unit each unit covers a week, except for the essay. The essay, that unit covers the final 2 weeks of the class. So each week you'll click on, and I'm not locking the units, so you can look ahead. You can look ahead to see what's coming. If you want to work ahead and do assignments ahead, that's fine to some extent. The discussions and the peer review will happen on the day they're set on the syllabus. So if you have worked ahead with the writing, then you'll want to come back and do, make sure you're doing the correct peer review on the correct day. This is where the unit checklist and the course schedule. So on the front page of the unit, there is some general information about the unit, and then have the checklist here, all of the assignments and when you'll need to complete them for this first week of classes. So you see we've got the first sort of day and a half to get oriented in the course, and then we start jumping in with the material of the course. So this first week we're going to be talking a lot about the writing process, right? Because writing, it is a process. It's not, sit down, type up a paper, submit it, it's done. Writing is a process. Thinking about what am I going to write about? How am I going to organize it? Actually doing the drafting, and then going back and working through the revision process, polishing, maybe reorganizing, maybe looking at which words have been chosen. So it's also not a linear process. There are a series of steps in the writing process that we'll talk through this week, but as we'll talk as we go through them, they don't always have to happen in the order they're listed. Right? You might, depending on your writing style, you might come at them in a slightly different order. So they do not have to be linear in this exact order. We will work through them in a linear order, but when you're actually sitting down to write paragraphs, your own style might be slightly different. Then at the end of this week, we will look at a brief introduction to the 5 major types of writing. Then, over the next several weeks, each week we will spend going more in depth with each of those 5 styles. So here we'll look at expository writing next in week 2, and under each type of writing we'll have 2 subcategories. So here we've got exemplification and division classification. There's a chapter in your textbook that corresponds with each of these styles of writing, and as we work through the unit, you'll read through the chapter, we'll do discussion, and then we'll do peer review. Pull this unit checklist up. So you can see the first day of the week on Monday, you'll read through the chapter and answer discussion questions with your classmates. Then on Tuesday, we'll do peer review. So sometime later on Monday or on Tuesday mornings when you need to work on writing the first draft of your paragraph. You'll submit the drafts of your paragraph, and you'll give each other feedback and comments for revising them, and then the revision of the paragraph is due on Wednesday. Then on Wednesday we will also start the next chapter. So Wednesday is a transition day. Wednesday you will finish the revision on your first paragraph, and then you'll read the chapter, and these chapters are short. Like I said, the first week of class is the heaviest reading. The rest of it, the readings are fairly short. Read through the chapter and then do the discussion questions on Wednesday. Thursday is when you'll do the peer review, so either later in the day on Wednesday or Thursday morning you want to write the draft of your paragraph and put it in the peer review, and then the rest of Thursday and Friday you'll work on revising that second paragraph and then submitting it on Friday. And then each week you'll either do a grammar review activity or a sentence, which is sentence skills, or a research skills activity. These are due on Friday. It is up to you whether you do the whole activity on Friday or if you want to work on that project throughout the week, but it is due on Friday. Then, for the most part, with the exception of 1 week in July where 4th of July is at the beginning of the week, there will not be homework assignments over the weekend. So look here, the next unit then, informative writing, the next piece that is due is the next Monday. So there will always be something due every day of the week, Monday through Friday, but there will not be projects for the most part that we start on Friday that are then due to finish on Monday. So if you want to work on this reading over the weekend, or if you want to work ahead, that's perfectly fine. I will be logging into the course over the weekend, so if you have questions for me or send me emails, I will respond to them as quickly as I can. But for the most part, there won't be significant homework assignments that are due over the weekend. All right, so as you can see, then this week there is a research skills journal activity, so it alternates. Let's jump ahead here. The last 2 weeks of class, we'll be looking at the essay. We'll work through 2 different essay assignments and a final research skills activity. Down here at the bottom is a list of resources. This resources unit, there are no assignments in this unit, and these materials are designed to help you work through the assignments in the other units. So there are some tips and guidelines for doing peer review and revisions. There is a final draft checklist, and there is a tutorial in here on using track changes in words, and then there is a link to other reference resources that are linked through the library here at MCC. So as you are working through the course, please, again, don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. They're about, class assignments, class content, using the class interface. If you're having a lot of technical difficulties using the course interface, there is a help desk you can use. You can also contact Jan Hartman, who is the distance ed coordinator, and she can possibly help you also. Down here there is information in the virtual office. If you have technical questions about using the website, the class course, and there's Jan Hartman, her name and her phone number and her email address. There's also tech support available through Pearson that you can access through the help desk. So there are lots of resources here to help you when you have questions, and so please don't hesitate to ask or get in contact with me if you're having problems with something. So I look forward to working with you over the next several weeks, and we'll let you get back to going through the course, reading through the syllabus, reading through the schedule, and working through these activities in the first day of class. And I am excited to get to know all of you in the introductions, so please don't forget about the introductions over here and introduce yourself to the class. Listed a series of questions here, pick 4 of them, or this last one is kind of open-ended, so anything else that isn't listed in the other ones can answer anything else about yourself. So again, I am really looking forward to working with you to become better writers over the next 8 weeks, and I'm excited to see your writing, to read your writing, and to work with you all as a class. So good luck, and I'm excited to help you along on this summer course.